Okay, Jamal Myers here at Liverpool Comic-Con with Seth Gilliam. Wow, what an amazing turnout it's been for you. Walking Dead's final season underway as well. Is it an emotional time with you and the fans at this moment?
It kind of is, yeah. We're all saying goodbye to something that we love, so there's a little bit of bonding that's happening over that, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously when you look at your career way back when The Wire was starting, just when that show was underway, I'm sure you've been asked this a number of times, but did it feel like something special was cooking in that, and people still talk about that as the greatest show of all time today?
It did feel like we were doing something special, but at the time people weren't really watching it. The subscriber audience for HBO wasn't that big for The Wire at the moment, but we all felt like we were in a very special environment with very special people and fantastic material, and had a feeling that whomever was watching it was going to be impacted by it.
Did it surprise you, the success that it had after that period? Because it really took off. Even today, people will come and say, I can't believe I've never got round to watching it. It still overshadows what's being produced on television today. And it's sort of that alongside Sopranos, that started that boom in television where it's looked at as a bigger form of media than film as well.
Yeah, it has been kind of surprising that it's had the shelf life that it's had, and it's been found by so many people so many years after the fact. But I'm terribly excited that it has been and that it is, because I love the show. It was one of the most special times in my life and in my career when I was working on it. So to be reminded of it by people who are just now discovering it is very exciting.
Have you watched it back? Do you find it easy to watch your own work, or do you just stay well away?
It's kind of like looking at pictures of old, girlfriends or something. It's all a little bittersweet because you can't go back, and it's a special time. So I don't really watch much of what I've done. I like to try to keep moving forward.
Yeah, and then when you look back at The Walking Dead as well, that was a different experience because you joined that when it is at the top of its game, when it is one of the biggest shows on television. AMC, they were doing Breaking Bad at the same time as well. What was it like joining a phenomenon like that, and just to see it go on and launch so many spin-offs, and the fans absolutely love you, love your character. Ross is here as well. Just traveling around with those guys as well.
It's pretty cool to be able to run into some of the cast members, in various parts of the world, and reconnect. But it was like jumping on a moving train. It was like just trying to fit in and not disrupt things.
Right.
Was mostly my headspace when I got on the show, and then as the years progressed and I got a little bit more settled into the character and what we were trying to do with him, it also has become an extremely special part of my life.
What's the wildest thing that you've seen on set on The Walking Dead? Because in terms of the practical effects, the gore, there must be some days where you need to take a long shower after it because you're filthy with mud and blood and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, there was a particular day where we had a few years ago where we had 200 extras overrunning Alexandria. So they had basically 200 different kinds of walker masks that Greg Nicotero and his team developed and designed and created out of nothing. And at one point I was surrounded by people, and I looked up, and it was the most grisly, grotesque palette of faces you could imagine. And I thought, this is really surreal. I guess I'm making a show about zombies, and here each zombie has their own personality in their face. It was pretty cool.
When you look back at The Wire as well, Michael B. Jordan was a small part of that first season as well. Difficult question to answer, but could you see him going on to achieve what he was going to achieve that early on? Did you see the talent that early?
You could see that in all of the young actors who came on the show. They were Alexa Fogel's casting company did a fantastic job of finding people who were not only smooth, natural fits for the role, but who had such a kind of dynamic skill set that you could kind of see them creating and building and putting the tools in the little toolboxes, and essentially growing up on set. And you got the sense that any and all of them can and could possibly become huge international movie stars at any point.